Preseason game number 3 is almost here, which means the clock is ticking on the regular season, just 15 days away from Bengals football in 2022. Hi again, everyone. I'm James Rapien of allbengals.com. Welcome into Cincinnati Bengals talk here at Paycor Stadium. Nailed it, where the Bengals host the Rams in the preseason finale tonight. And I'm going to give you a lot of what I'm looking for in this matchup in just a second. But I wanted to thank all of the fans that have supported this channel. We crossed the 20,000 subscriber mark. We launched 2 shows in the past couple of weeks. Bengals on the Brain with Joe Goodberry on Tuesday nights at 8. The OT with Elise Jesse on Thursday nights at 8, both Eastern time. And we love you guys. It was awesome seeing so many of you at training camp, during practice, and hopefully during pre-games this season, whether it's here at Paycor Stadium or on the road, you'll be able to say hi as well, and I'll be able to meet more of you in person. But just wanted to take a second and thank all of you because you're really, really loyal. We appreciate it, and it certainly does not go unnoticed. As far as tonight's game goes, I got to be honest with you. No starters are playing, right? Except maybe Cordell Volson, and I think the left guard job is wrapped up, and that's my thought behind this. Cordell Volson, if he's the starter, and I think he is, how long are we going to see him? How much more do you need to see? And it's a balance of wanting to get him more reps and more experience ahead of the start of the regular season versus keeping your starting left guard upright, fresh, ready to go, and healthy. And so it's going to be interesting to see how Zach Taylor and the rest of this coaching staff handles that. In my opinion, 2 drives, maybe the first quarter, then yank him. Same thing goes for Dax Hill, by the way. I've seen a lot of Dax Hill. Guess what? We've seen a lot of good things from Dax Hill. The interception last week, multiple pass breakups 2 weeks ago right here at Paycor Stadium against the Arizona Cardinals, so on and so forth. I've seen him flash in practice. You know how high I was on him pre-draft. To me, he's moved around a lot in these preseason games. He's played the nickel. He's gone up against tight ends. He's moved in different spots, deep safety. He's played around the line of scrimmage almost like a linebacker. He's done all of those things. So make sure he gets out of this healthy. So Volson and Dax Hill, I know they're rookies. To me, a quarter, couple drives, yank them, give them some Gatorade, say, we'll see you September 11th. Obviously, that's what the Bengals are doing with the rest of their starters. So to me, I think it's an opportunity for 79, Jackson Carman, who, I get it, his Q rating among the fan base might not be super high right now. He's also 22 years old. He's someone that the Bengals invested a high draft pick in, so why not get him a ton of reps tonight? Much like Volson last week where they played him all 67 offensive snaps, after Volson leaves the game, I'd play Carman at left guard, and that's it. I would get him rep after rep after rep after rep. Maybe he gets his confidence up. Maybe he is able to put some plays together. But regardless, he's going to be able to get valuable experience, which he's not going to get if he's not starting, and it doesn't look like he's going to be. So get him the reps now because he is your backup or one of your backups on the interior offensive line. The other spot I'm looking at, Trey Hill, starting at center, I would imagine, behind, obviously, Ted Karras, who is not, suiting up tonight. But Trey Hill played every snap last week. Lamont Gilliard, if he doesn't play, and I don't think he's going to due to injury, who's the backup center? I don't think you're going to play Trey Hill all of the snaps again tonight. And I don't really know. I don't know what route they're going to go. Maybe that is. Maybe Gilliard just plays and it makes it easy. Or maybe they go with Hill and they get him those reps. The other option would be, maybe you go with one of these other younger offensive linemen on this unit that could potentially snap the ball, maybe play a little bit of center. And I'm not sure where they would go, who they would look at. Desmond Noel, the local kid from Coleraine, I thought he's fared pretty well. Number 60 for those that don't know or aren't familiar. I thought he's fared pretty well at guard in the first 2 preseason games. I thought he's looked pretty good in training camp. And there has been a couple times during the warm-up portion of practice where he snapped the ball to one of these quarterbacks, whether it's Brandon Allen, Jake Browning, just to get them warmed up. And so I wonder if we see him at center tonight. It's the 3rd preseason game. Never say never. Other position battles, other things I'm watching for. Obviously, the punter battle is something that still hasn't been decided. And what I think is going to be interesting is a couple things. One, will we see Kevin Huber punt at all tonight? He didn't punt last week. It was all Drue Chrisman. It was only 3 punts. And that's the other part of it. How about you punt a couple more times? Third preseason game, results don't matter much. If you're at let's say you're at the 50-yard line and it's 4th and 1. I know Zach Taylor would normally go for it. I get that. I understand that. But maybe tonight you punt it. Why? To give either Chrisman a chance to show that he can be directional, as special teams coordinator Darren Simmons wants him to be. Obviously, he's got the more stronger leg, the more powerful leg than Kevin Huber. He's not as good directionally as of yet. So it could give Chrisman an opportunity in that scenario. Maybe you give Kevin Huber a chance to show that he does have some power in that leg still. So that part is going to be interesting to see how they balance that. This coaching staff balances that. And then the other part here is the holding part. On field goal attempts, extra point attempts. So far, both guys have been great. So that could have been a deciding factor pre-camp. So far, both guys have aced it, so it doesn't matter. And that's a win for Drue Chrisman, of course, since Kevin Huber's held for years and years and years now, 13 seasons. And so that part of it I'll be monitoring as well. Do one of these guys have an issue holding tonight? They haven't in camp. They haven't throughout the preseason. But one mess-up could be the difference in this battle. So that's certainly something worth watching. And then leave it to me to wait 6 minutes before I talk about receivers, which is uncharacteristic of me. But Kwamie, Lassiter, and Kendric, Pryor. To me, I know some still leave that punt return job open. I don't think it's open. I think that's Trent Taylor's job. If that's the case, these two guys have to show, specifically Kwamie Lassiter, because he was the one kind of vying for that punt return role. If neither one is going to do that, and Kendric Pryor wasn't in the running anyways, guess what they need to do? Continue to be productive and force the Bengals' hand. Show the Bengals that they need to keep 7 receivers. I know some argue with it, but it's the big 3, Mike Thomas, Stanley Morgan Jr. Those guys are all making the team. And if Trent Taylor's your 6th receiver and your starting punt returner, then anyone else making it naturally 7th. So will they be able to force the Bengals' hand ahead of Tuesday's cut-down day? That's something I'll certainly be watching tonight. The other thing, defensive line-wise, I think that Jeff Gunter still might need to show a little bit more. And so I know a lot of people have penciled him in, and I think he's looked good, no doubt about it. But to me, Khalid Kareem still has a job in the 53-man roster. He's still a part of that defensive line. Another guy that I'm going to be watching tonight, Tyler Shelvin. Will Tyler Shelvin show something this preseason and in training camp? He hasn't, and so to me, he's very much on the roster bubble coming into tonight's game. And then the other one, and I do think that he'll probably make the 53-man roster, but Clay Johnston, 20 tackles last week, 16 solo tackles, was really upset at his special teams performance last week, and I'm sure Darren Simmons let him know about it. How does he play tonight, battling for a roster spot here in that linebacker role? I think he'll get it if he plays well tonight, but certainly something worth monitoring. We're going to be back after the game. We'll get Zach Taylor's news conference after the game, get his thoughts, plus anything from the locker room, any reaction that we think you need to see. And obviously, I'll be back on the field right here reacting to preseason game number 3. It's exciting. The regular season just 15 days away, and I know you're ready. I'm ready, but we have one more preseason game to get through, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty of storylines after this game tonight. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, check out allbengals.com. I'll be updating throughout the game there. I'll also have plenty right here after the game on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. So for our channel coordinator, Andrew Fox Miller, I'm James Rapien, signing off for now right here at Paycor Stadium.